Hello, I am Susan and I'm an outdoor educator at Shangri La Gardens here in Orange, Texas. Today we will study a virtual lesson on video about animal abodes, which abodes is just a fancy name for homes. In the video, I will be the teacher and I'll have two students. I'd like to introduce them to you right now. This is Leah and this is Kathleen. And I hope you enjoyed the video about animal abodes. Students, today we're going to walk around Shangri La and we're going to look for animal abodes or animal homes out here in nature. Let's go see one. Are you ready? Yes. 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 Now, students, since we're looking for animal homes, I've spied this beautiful log. Do you think that there could be some creatures, some animals that live under this log? Well, let me show you a safety tip. First of all, you have to be careful rolling over a log. First of all, you roll it towards you in case a critter is underneath, a little animal friend. That way they can escape and run away. So, let's get a little closer. We're going to roll it away from us. Let's see. Oh, it's a skink, which is a fast lizard. Oh, come up here, Kathleen. Come see. What do you see, Leah?
Is that a grub worm?
Yes, and I see something black right here.
Is that a beetle?
Yes, a beetle. Oh, there went our skink. So see, look at these animals. They use this old rotten log as an abode or a home. Ooh, let's look up in these trees and these bushes. I bet a little bird would like to make a nest in here. Let's see. Come see, students. I think we see something right here. Oh, it's a bird's nest and it's made so well.
Wow. A real bird's nest.
I think I see an animal abode or an animal home.
Another bird's nest?
No, this is something different. What do you think this could be? Who made this home?
A crawfish?
Yes, and what did they make it out of, Kathleen?
Mud. It looks like mud.
Yes, that little crawfish takes its little claws or its tail and rolls up mud balls and packs it good. Isn't it a good architect?
Wow.
Architect is somebody that builds something. Hello again. We're out here at Ruby Lake, and I'm going to tell my students about a special bird abode or bird home called a platform nest. Wait a minute. What are you two doing?
Relaxing.
Relaxing?
It's a platform. Yeah.
A platform? Not quite, students. The platform I'm talking about is an egret nest. And an egret is a large bird. Oh, look how beautiful this egret is.
Wow.
See this egret? She builds a flat nest on a tree limb, and it's just flat and messy. How about that?
Wow.
Yes, Kathleen?
Is it like these trees out here?
Yes, see those limbs sticking out? Well, she just brings sticks in her mouth and lays them out real messy and makes a very nice nest. How about you two sit down right here on this platform and I will give you some sticks and you just lay them out real flat.
Miss Susan?
Yes, Leah?
Did I do it right?
Well, it has to be a little more sturdy. Maybe put your sticks closer together because Mother and Father Egret have to sit on the nest.
Okay.
And hatch the little babies. And then the babies are born, so it has to support the babies too.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'll try. Can
Oh,
I add
that's-
some pine needles in there?
That's much better. So many homes in nature, and animals use what they have to make themselves a home. We've been learning about animal abodes or animal homes, and they use nature to build their own shelter or home. Well, the next bird's nest that we're going to learn about, or bird home, is a scrape nest.
Oh, Miss Susan.
Yes, Leah?
Like a scrape like this one? Because I flipped off my hoverboard and it really hurt, and I have a bobo right here. Is that what you mean?
That's not quite right about the scrape nest. I want to tell you about a little bird named the killdeer, and this little bird runs across open fields, but it doesn't build a very good nest. Watch, this little killdeer, she gets on a little rocky path or some dirt or soil that's light colored, and she does this. She just scrapes with her little foot. See, the name scrape. And she scrapes the ground and lays her eggs right in there. Would you like to make a scrape nest?
Yes.
All right. Now scrape it with your hands like she would her little foot. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Yes. Now you've made another abode or another animal home. A scrape nest. Great job, students. The next animal abode we will be talking about is a cavity nest. Now, a cavity nest can be an old hole in a tree that a woodpecker has made, or it can be just an old tree that is getting rotten, and maybe a little raccoon or another animal will crawl in there to have a nice shelter or home. Students, today we're going to learn about cavity nests that maybe a woodpecker could make by pecking holes, or if it's an old hollow tree, maybe a raccoon could curl up in there. What's wrong, Kathleen?
Cavity? Yeah, I have one too. I love candy. Can I have some?
May I have the Skittles,
Sure.
please? Maybe that's why you might be getting some cavities.
No, I think I need to eat more to feel better.
No, you'll be fine. Let's put that down and learn about cavity nests.
Okay.
Cavity, like your cavity in your tooth, which is a hole in your tooth. A cavity is like a hole in a tree that maybe an animal can make, or it might be an old hollow tree. How about that? See? And here's our lovely woodpecker. This is a pileated woodpecker. And see how it's pecking holes? It's looking for insects. And then a lot of times they'll make holes big enough for them to have a nest. And they might line it with something soft like moss. See, our little raccoon is all curled up in the tree. So that's what a cavity nest is. Kind of like a cavity in your tooth. Another animal abode or animal home made by a bird is a barn swallow. And they make a wonderful little nest out of mud. And a lot of times you may find them under the eaves of a building that's outdoors. And I will be teaching my students about sweet little bowl nest. Students, today we're going to talk about another nest that a bird makes, and it's called a bowl nest. A little barn swallow makes a bowl nest with mud and everything. What are you doing?
It's a bowl. Yeah, like your nest.
Well, it is kind of like that, but let's put our popcorn down, please, and let's focus. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Susan.
We can have popcorn for a
ma'am.
snack later.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you see this sweet little nest that a bird is made out of? And see how it's kind of shaped like a bowl? And then here's a little bird called a barn swallow. Well, see, they take their little beaks and they scoop, scoop, scoop. So do you see how cool that is? And they left some little feathers behind, but It makes a sweet little bowl to hold their babies in. And here's some other examples of a bowl nest. Do you want to hold that? So see how neatly they shape it, just like your popcorn bowl. Students, I have some Play-Doh, and I would love for you to try to make a bowl nest just like a little barn swallow would. It's the color of mud a little bit, so we'll have to use our imagination. But try to use your hands like a little beak, like a barn swallow has, and kind of just pinch that mud and shape it with your beak, just like Miss Barn Swallow would, and make a nice bowl shape. Oh, those are turning out nicely. Very nice, Kathleen. How are you doing, Leah?
Ta-da! I did it!
You did. I think Mother Barn Swallow would approve. Yay! Students, the next type of animal abode we will be studying will be a messy nest. It's sort of like a bowl nest, but not quite as neat as our little barn swallows. And it's made by our little forest friend, a squirrel. You know, students, we were looking in this forest area because our little friend the squirrel, we've been talking about birds, but other animals use natural materials to make their own abode or own animal home. So if you look up in a tall tree, out on the farthest branch, you might see a messy nest made out of leaves. That may be a squirrel nest. Isn't that cool? Remember, students, on our little walk through the forest, we talked about a squirrel making a messy nest, and here's a cute picture of a little squirrel. See, they find their food in the forest too. It's eating a pine cone. Isn't that sweet? Well, girls, I want you to make a messy nest. So I'm going to give you some leaves and some moss. And I want you to just have fun with it.
Oh, fun.
And make a mess. Let's see. Not quite that much fun, students. Let's try to make it sort of like our bowl nest that we talked about. But it doesn't have to be as neat as that other. This is moss that hangs from the tree. It's an epiphyte. It doesn't need soil, but it's a plant.
Like this, Miss Susan?
Oh, I like that nest, Kathleen. I think a squirrel could bury down in there, maybe hide an acorn or two. Do you think? Good job, Leah. Yay! All right, now, have fun with your messy nest. Ah! Yay! Good job. Animals out in nature we've been talking about use natural materials to make a shelter, a home, to get out of the weather or the cold. And so even when a tree dies in the forest, it may be a sad thing or it's blown down, but look what kind of shelter it can make for an animal. Look at this debris here. An animal could push its body against that. There's a log that's down. It could get out of that to get out of the cold or the rain. So animals use what they have in nature to build themselves a home. All right, my two students, I want you to pretend that you're a coyote, a bigger animal, or a bobcat. And you can't have a little tiny nest in a tree. No. So it's a cold, rainy day. It's very cold. I want you to kind of back up under this debris and see if you can make kind of your own little shelter. Oh, let's see how that does. Very nice. Oh. Would that protect you? Yes. Very good, bobcat and coyote. You've made an animal abode. Students, I hope we had a great time today learning about different animal abodes or animal homes. Remember, we talked about birds first and how they made a platform nest, a messy stick nest on a limb of a tree. We learned about scrape nest, where the little killdeer, she would use her foot to scrape an indention in the ground, then lay her eggs on the ground. We learned about messy nests like a squirrel makes. We learned about bowl nest that a sweet little barn swallow makes out of mud. So, and at last, we also learned about how bigger animals like coyotes, foxes, bobcats can back under bushes and make a nice animal shelter to get out of the cold or the wind. So, your challenge today is to take any natural materials that you want. It can be on the ground or maybe in a small tree at your house, a small limb, and take natural materials, anything you want, and make your own animal abode.